Hello, and welcome to the tour of my Yavin Stronghold, Aravail's Jedi Academy. I'm starting here on the fleet simply because I wanted to show you the intro cutscene first, so here we go. So there's the overview of it. You can see the bridge in the background and a Massassi Village out in the grounds by the waterfall. There's the basement room and one of the side rooms. And this is just a preview, of course. I'll show you everything room by room in a second. And there's the bridge, the waterfalls in the background. Aravail looking out over the Yavin jungle below. Alrighty, so without any further ado, here we go. Right as you come in, you have the Defender, which obviously is the Jedi Consular ship, and the Jedi Knight ship as well. And just a couple of mailbox for easy access and a couple of little Yavin lamps. Here you have the main approach. You can see the temple. Let me turn off the UI there. You can see the temple up there. There is a Great Hypergate up there. We'll get to that a little bit later. Some banners. And sort of RP-wise or story-wise, this is supposed to be like a Jedi temple that Aravail founded here on Yavin. So you have some statues of Satele and Revan, two important Jedi figures. And then in here's the main room. So I'll scroll back a little bit there. Um, in the one corner you have a bit of a classroom set up so students can sit, and there's a Togruta instructor teaching them the ways of the Jedi. Over here, a Keldor master is teaching these Padawans on meditating on an artifact, and there's also some vibroblades over here so they can practice dueling. And then over here you have more of a serene relaxation area with some nice plants and little fountains here in the middle of the room. And then of course at the top you have the Revanite chandeliers and some couches. And then on either side is a painting of Yavin and Tython. Obviously the location where we are and the location of the main Jedi temple. There are fireworks in the pictures because they're the third anniversary ones, but those could be like celebrations for the conquering Revan on Yavin or the war going well against the Empire. So as you make a right, you enter the Jedi Council chambers. So this is where the Masters of the Academy can meet up and discuss important matters in the galaxy. They have their own little personal library here in case they need to access important information. And a couple artifacts scattered around the room. Out here, the Masters have their own little balcony where they can, get some air and get away from the temple busyness for a bit. They have their own little chairs, and right now this Master is talking to a Togruta Jedi via hologram. You'll notice a lot of Keldor Jedi Masters because those are the only Jedi Master decorations. You got some trees and awnings for shade because some of the Masters are old. You don't want them out in the sun too long. Their skin might start getting spotty. So we'll head back inside now. And back through the main room here. And over across the way, you have the dining and relaxation room. There's a nice little waterfall in here. This is where students can come and just socialize or sit by the waterfall and enjoy its soothing hum. Even go for a swim if they feel so inclined. There are some statues of the Serene Pilgrim around the room and some Jedi banners, just to make it look a little temple-ish. And there's the watchful eyes of one of the Jedi Masters, and then behind here is like a little changing area in case they need to change into their swimsuits. And there's a Twi'lek Padawan who's really excited to go swimming, as you can see. He's getting his groove on there. And there's a Rishi student, because Rishi can be Jedi too, fun fact. Alright. And that's the main level of the temple. Over here you have a Rakata Mystic, either working on his lightsaber or thinking about building one at least. A little table for discussions and plans and whatnot, and some datacrons and library devices over here. So now we're going to head on downstairs. The stairs are kind of sparsely decorated just because there are only 750 hooks, and believe it or not, I used every single one of them. And could have used another 50 or so more. Would not have minded that, but I did put some little data nodes up there just to give it a bit of light. Down here are the students' quarters, so you can see all their bunks around the edge of the room. And then in the center area, you have a couple benches for just sitting around and enjoying the day. Some nice little plants to give it a good atmosphere. And then around the edge of the room, you have just some paintings the students might have hung. Maybe their home planets or just a nice view of the beach. Or some abstract paintings over here. There's a storage locker for their stuff. Out here is the students' balcony, and there's some bonfires there for toasting s'mores, and they can sit around late at night and just swap stories and talk about their day and whatever else they'd like to talk about. There's some totems and little tiki torches up there. So let's head back upstairs now. I'm gonna mount up a second because there is quite a lot of stairs in this temple. Alright, so back up we go, back past the main room again, and up one more set of stairs. Over here you have some Rhodian trying to get upstairs, but the temple doctor thinks he might have a disease, so she's scanning him just to make sure. Never hurts to check up with your doctor now and again. Alright, up here you have the library slash data center. So you can see some Twi'lek or Togruta student browsing the files. And then up here you have some more computers for accessing the archives. And there's another master looking over this planetary hologram. Over here I was actually going to have a fourth bookshelf, but the hook is not at the same Z level as the other three hooks next to it. So, well done, BioWare. But so instead of another bookshelf, I just put a little reliquary chest there, and that can be where they store like the VHS tapes or something, because even the Jedi library is still using VHS tapes. They never quite catch up. So we're gonna avoid the bridge for now and kind of sneak over here a bit and look at the top of the temple. So up here you have the Yavin warrior with spear statue. If any of you watched my Yavin preview video when I was first exploring the Stronghold for the very first time, you saw that you can climb that actually, and I'm going to try to do it now. Nope, I suck at jumping puzzles, obviously. Let's try this again. Oh, okay, made it. Try not to look over so that you guys don't see any of the temple ground until we get to that part. And you can climb up the tip of his spear, and you can actually go around here even. If I can do this right. Yay, and get to his fingertips, and you can see the whole temple there. So I probably should have done this on the way down, to be honest. But over here, you can see a little bit of a meditation terrace. There's some Rakata mystics, sitting there meditating. So I'm going to zoom out now, and I know I'm kind of spoiling a little bit here, but you get a nice view of the whole temple from up here, and it's pretty cool. Over there, you can see a Yavin head sculpture that's seems to be the head of Nagasatao, which would make sense because he was the Sith Lord who crashed here and had his guards build the Jedi Temple, and their descendants became the Massassi. I originally had trouble finding space for all my centerpiece sculptures, which you think would be kind of surprising since there's 16 centerpiece hooks, but a lot of them are just in inopportune places, like inside where they take up the entire room, or on the bridge where they block circulation. So the thing that kind of made me finally have enough hooks to get the bare minimum of decorations display I wanted was when I decided not to go symmetrical. So you have like the Yavin warrior with the spear on one side and the head sculpture on the other side. So yeah, this is just a little meditation garden, nothing too complicated here. At the apex of the temple, on the very highest roof, you have the Gree Research Center. And the idea here is that the Jedi are collecting Gree artifacts from across the galaxy, with the aim of the research being the construction of a working hypergate, because obviously if they could construct a working hypergate in this era, that would be a huge technological leap forward that would give the Republic a huge advantage in any fights to come, being able to move troops and even weaponry and starships from one system to the other almost instantaneously. That would be huge. Obviously, that even the Gree don't know how to use their technology anymore, so it's a long way away, but that's something that I think Aravail would be into researching and funding. And the cool part up here is actually this is a jumping puzzle, and you can get to the very top of the Gree Hypergate here. That's a decoration from Nightmare TFB. And you start here, and I'm actually not going to do it right now, but what I'm going to do is I'll come back later on my Shadow, because she has phase walk and it makes it a little bit easier. And I'll do it on her, and then I'll splice that into the video starting now. Alright, and we're back. So unless I really screwed something up, you should see the jumping puzzle right. Um, you should have just seen it. So hopefully you enjoyed that part. And now we're going to continue on with the tour. Down here you have the never have to go to the fleet room. Although it's not really a room, it's a rooftop. I didn't want to put those right at the beginning because it just didn't look right. And the purpose of the stronghold is more to make a cool like place for people to decorate and visit, as opposed to actually making a utility place for me to use. Like I have my Tatooine stronghold and to a lesser degree my Coruscant one for that. Um, but I did think it'd be good to have to have the amenities up here in case people wanted to use them, and just because I need something to decorate it with. So you have some fabrication droids, some Jawas to turn your Jawa junk, and that's either students or visitors to the academy can come and you know do their shopping. Um, I didn't decorate the two side rooftops here for two reasons. One, I ran out of hooks, and I figured, they look pretty okay, even not decorated, because they're just rooftops, so it's okay to leave them blank. And two, there's not really an accessible way to reach them. Like you have to just jump down that little cutoff there, and then fall down even further when you want to leave. So I mean, some of the Jedi Masters are kind of old. You don't want them jumping all over the place necessarily. They could break something. So I decided not to decorate these guys. And you can see a little close up of some of the lights and the banners and a security camera down there because even temples need security. So that's the rooftops. Let's get down these stairs here, and you emerge from behind the head. The head is also one of the few decorations that doesn't really clip the rock side, so that was another reason I decided to use it. Um, so yeah, over here you have the approach to the temple grounds. Uh, Over in the distance you have a statue of Nagasato again. Um, I know it's kind of weird to have a Sith statue on the Jedi grounds, but presumably it would have been there before the temple was founded in this ancient temple, since Nagasato was like I said before, the one who is responsible for building them. And so I figure when the Jedi archaeological team found that statue there, they would have wanted to preserve it and restore it, because it is part of the galactic history and not something you want to just topple over, given your first chance. So this bridge took me a while to farm, because some of these decorations are not rare, but it's hard to get a lot of them. The Rakata Herald statues and energy pylons come from EV, and the ancient burial urns come from Athos. So I've done a lot of farming of those two, that operation of Flashpoint this past weekend, or this past week. Kind of tired of them now, but worth it, I think, because it's a cool approach. And some rugs you just buy with cartel certificates. So there's a nice little sitting area where you can sit and watch the waterfall. Just enjoy your breakfast sitting down here, maybe. It's a nice little view. And then opposite it, you have the other view looking out over the temple grounds. And obviously, this is where we were standing in the cutscene. You can even see the Jedi Master Terrace, a little bit of it over there, and the Student Terrace down below. Alright, so moving on onto the temple grounds. There's the statue of Nagasato close up. There are the two auxiliary temples to the left and the right there. Guess we can go ahead. There's some skulls I put up there and some Massassi guards. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. And then in the middle here, there's a meditation garden with just some fountains, statues, and a little terrace, and some potted trees, and a Padawan meditating in front of one of the ponds. So a nice little garden people can come to get outside the temple for a bit and just feel one with nature. So this is the PvE temple. Basically, I just put a bunch of PvE trophies around there. So there's EV, there's KP, most KP at least. I didn't have room for poor Thrasher. There's EC and TFB. The speeders, I don't know if you guys remember those. It was a big deal getting those way back in the day, like pre 2.0, when you had to farm the first 3 ops to get all the right bosses to get them. Or it was some were flashpoints, some were world bosses. It was a couple different things, but it was a cool little mini quest when they added it. And the avalanche tank from EC. I unfortunately am very unlucky when it comes to rolls and ops. So I really don't have a lot of decorations here. But if I ever get like the Wings of the Architect or the mount from SMV or the Helix Hyper Hot even, which I really want, this is where I will put them. So then upstairs you have some of the newer ops. There's SMV over there. I actually have not done the final 3 bosses of that fight on Nightmare mode yet, because our guild kind of took a break from raiding when that was out until the Dread Ops came out. So one day I'd like to go back and get those trophies though for sure. So speaking of DF and DP, there is Nightmare DF. We never finished the final boss of that either. We tried it once after 3.0 hit, but we weren't all at our best at that day, so we didn't quite get him down. And then over here is Nightmare DP, which I would also definitely like to finish off at some point. And then on the last wall, you have the current tier of hard modes, which our guild is 8 out of 10 with. We just cleared Master and Blaster about 2 weeks ago, I'd say. Maybe 3 weeks ago, because our third kill was yesterday. So um, yeah, and those videos are all also up on my channel in case you want to check those out. I guess we can go up to the rooftop here. I put the icicle thing up there, even though it doesn't really make a lot of sense, just because it looks really cool. I wanted to use it somewhere. So maybe this ancient Vos sculpture makes the things beneath it cold somehow. It's secret Vos technology. Who knows how it works. And up here, you just have some torches around it. Thought that was kind of cool looking. And then opposite over there, you have one of those big turrets to defend the temple against like fighter attacks and some minefield markers, because you don't want like low-flying friendly fighters to crash into it when it's dark out, like airplanes. I put some thrones up here because I thought they look kind of cool in the distance, and if you really want to sit up there and enjoy the view, you can. Make sure I don't actually die here. Slide down kind of carefully. Okay, heal myself up a bit. So just some heating vents and whatever that thing is from SMB up there. So this is the PvP temple. You have some of the mounts from Season 1, Season 4, and Season 5, and a hot potato stand thing, which is a lot of fun to play with your friends. Season 2 didn't have a mount. It just had that like stupid Gerada's sail barge thing instead, and that's already on display on my other Stronghold. And Season 3 I didn't participate in, unfortunately, because it did have some cool rewards. But so there's the Season 2 trophy, and then I'm keeping these walls as a way of kind of tracking how I do each season. So like Season 4 I had 3 characters get gold and 2 get silver. Season 5 I had 3 get gold, 2 get silver, 1 get bronze. And hopefully I'll have a nice selection of gold and silver trophies to hang up here by the end of Season 6. Upstairs there really isn't anything there, just a couple Warzone paintings. Because yeah, like I said, there's only so many hooks you can play with. I wouldn't have minded a couple more. But you get what you get. Alright, so let's hop on down now. Again, being careful not to actually die here. Alright. There we go. Alright, so up here, this is one of my favorite parts. Here you have the knighting ceremony, where Padawans are promoted to Jedi Knights by their masters. And you have the troopers out in full array to help them celebrate. This was kind of inspired by the final scene of Episode 4, which obviously took place on Yavin. When they're all congratulating Luke and Han and Chewie and all for a job well done destroying the Death Star. So I kind of wanted to reflect that a bit here. You have the giant statues of the guards there. The Rishis, traders, simply because there are medium hooks here and that's all they fit. And you're probably wondering why there are Imperial Guardsmen in the background. The real reason is because I ran out of Republic troopers. You can only have 50. And but the lore reason is that the Jedi raided a Imperial warehouse and got some extra uniforms. And because the Republic Army is so tight on budget cuts, the troopers are sharing uniforms, and they all wanted to be here at the same time. So the off-duty troops just put some of those confiscated Imperial uniforms on to attend, but they're really Republic troops. So that's why it makes sense. Just don't think about it too much. So yeah, there's a little Throne of Enlightenment there, and you can actually, if you look closely, I put some fireworks back here, because no celebration would be real without fireworks. Let's get them started. Now it's a party. And actually, I probably have some... Do I? No, I don't have any fireworks on me. Oh well. You can notice my credits took a big hit when I designed this temple. I don't want to tell you how many millions of credits I spent on it, but it was worth it. I think it was worth it at least. I enjoy it. But yeah, I need to start getting some credits back now, because I have more on other tunes, but not as many more as I would like. Yeah. Thankfully, making credits is not that hard in this game. And if you want to know how, there are videos for that too. So over here is the speeder station. There's some Green Life Day speeders. And here are some speeder bikes and staps in case anyone wants to explore the temple grounds, via tank or swoop bike or speeder or starship. There's some people just, trying to select the right speeder. There are some wild creatures roaming the grounds. We ask that you do not pet them, please, because the temple is not liable for any injuries sustained. They are wild animals, after all. Down here, you have the Yavin Combat Arena, which is, not the most original decoration to put there, but it's only one giant starship hook, and it looks cool there, so I figured it would be appropriate. So there it is. Up here, you have the Overlook, which I recommend you scan with your macro binocular. Oh, I should probably turn the UI on so I can use the elevator. There we go. All right, so you have a nice little seating area for the, that's like a, what do you call it? Like box seating. If I can ever get to the chair. There we go. So yeah, you can sit down there Let me do a slash chair. There we go. Oh, I'm actually sitting. I'm actually on the chair. Take two. Good enough. There we go. So yeah, he's relaxing, watching some students duel down there. There's a little serving droid to bring you drinks, because you know it can get hot up here under the Yavin sun. See, it's a big gas giant right in the sky. Makes you hot. All right, so down we go. And we will continue exploring the temple grounds. Let's see. Let's go over to the right first, actually. There aren't many hooks out here, so I really couldn't do much even if I had the extra hook allotment. But I put few little pets and things, but even then I kind of ran out of hooks. So over here, kind of hidden away, you have a Revanite tent with a couple of Revanites plotting the revenge of their faction and the return of their Lord and Savior Revan. So you can see him with all his plots. I kind of like the idea that maybe the Jedi Masters know that these guys are here, but are leaving them there for now as like a challenge for some of the students, some of the older students at least. Up here we have a Massassi Village. This is part of the temple's outreach program, because the Massassi used to be like a noble warrior race until like Nagasadao corrupted them and made them his Sith abominations. So yeah, we're trying to kind of rehabilitate them, bring them back into society. You may have noticed I got hit by a snowball there. We have this guy in the prison for excessive snowball throwing. He just won't stop no matter what we do. We don't really know where he's getting the snowballs from. We think it might have something to do with that giant icicle up in that temple you saw. We're not entirely sure about that though. And this guy here is just like a pickpocket trying to steal Jedi artifacts. We locked him up too. So the Massassi are kind of, they work as guards and they have their own little village here. These two guys are either doing a mating ritual or challenging each other for alpha status in the village. Not quite sure which. Um, and then I guess kind of, actually, you know what we're going to do here? We're going to see if I can do this correctly. You know, no, we're not. Let's just go through the old-fashioned way. I was going to jump down that ledge over there, but I was worried I was going to die, because that happens sometimes. So we're just going to go do this the regular way instead. So here you have the hidden cave, which is very nicely decorated, but not by me, by the Bioware devs. They left no hooks here to decorate, but it does look pretty nice, you got to admit. So here is the Crystal Cave, and this is where the Jedi go to get their crystals to make their first lightsabers. Obviously, that's the big thing in the lore is that there are Force-sensitive caves throughout the galaxy, especially on planets like Ilum. And for anyone who's played KOTOR, you know there's a cave on Dantooine. And that cave on Dantooine was pretty much my main inspiration for this. You can see a bunch of pretty crystals over here, and even some Kinrath eggs. And I hear you get red lightsaber crystals if you smash them. Inside reference for those of you who have played KOTOR or watched my Let's Play. If you haven't played it but want to watch through the game and understand the story as you're playing SWTOR, doing dailies or whatever, it's on my YouTube channel. Be sure to check it out. Out here you have a second exit from the cave, and we're almost done the Stronghold. This will be the last little bit. Again, you really can't decorate this tunnel too much. It just kind of is the way you find it. But that's okay, because it does look pretty cool. And kind of the same deal, there's one last little ledge out here. And there aren't many hooks out here, so I really couldn't do that much with it. But there is a nice little pond. That's where the waterfall comes down from, like where the Revanite camp was. It just falls down here. And you can jump down if you're careful and like land on this part, but if you land like in the water, you'll probably die. And then over here we have some of the rarer and shyer animals who don't like to venture too close to the temple grounds, but still need to come, to the watering hole for a drink now and then. So that's where they chill. So yeah, that is Aravail's Temple of Light. And I'm sorry, Aravail's Jedi Academy. Temple of Light is the Coruscant one. Nice view looking out over the Yavin Forest. If you happen to be on the Ebonhawk, feel free to stop by and check it out anytime that I'm online, which is a decent portion of the day usually, even if I'm AFK. But yeah, just hop on the terminal on the fleet, and it's in the Stronghold section. Click on the Yavin terminal and look for, it's probably one of the top 5 entries. Look for Aravail's Jedi Academy, and I hope to see you there. See if maybe you can do the jumping puzzle on your own, because it's a bit of a challenge, and I say that as somebody who hates jumping puzzles. So it's kind of funny that I would make one here. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope to see you here. Thanks for watching.